Rev up your engines! Jack Barber says, what is the best used car under $4,200? The one you can find that's in good shape for that kind of money. Now, I would strictly stick to like Toyota Corollas, Honda Civics, Honda Accords, and Toyota Camrys. Those are excellent cars. $4,200, you can have a hard time finding a good one unless it's a friend, family, or something like that, because cars are getting expensive, even the used ones. But those are the best out there. Now, on the other hand, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Somebody you know died, and there's a Buick that's 10 years old that's got 20,000 miles on it. Wouldn't be a bad car, right? You could do something like that if you wanted to. You never know what you're going to run into. But in general, Honda Civics, Toyota Corollas, Honda Accords, and Toyota Camrys are really excellent cars with little maintenance. So even if they didn't maintain them perfectly, they can still be pretty good cars. Thomas Thornton says, Scotty, could the original timing belt on a 1.7 VTEC 2005 Honda Civic last 170,000 miles? It's really expensive here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to get it replaced. You know, you're gambling with fire. That VTEC engine is an interference engine. If the belt breaks, pistons at the valve, and good bye. If you're a gambling man or woman, I've seen some of them have 200,000 miles. They were never touched and they still work. But you're gambling. You're just taking a big gamble. I mean, if you want to take less of a gamble, take the top cover off, the plastic part on the top, and to look at the timing belt. See if it's cracked. See if the belt cogs are all worn. If it is, then replace it. Now, if it's not cracked at all and you want to gamble, it's your gambling money, you know. They can last a long time, but it is an interference engine. Bill Nye says, Scotty, what's the best type of replacement headlights? LED halogen. They won't mess up the electronics for an older car, 2000 Jeep Cherokee. It came with halogen lights. They don't cost much, and they last quite some time. You know, I mean, that's what they are. Now, if you want to replace them with LEDs, get a good quality set of LEDs, and they'll work perfectly fine. I have LEDs for my wife's Matrix. Now, those ones cost like $90 for a pair. They're expensive ones. They have a cooling fan. They got built-in resistors. Had them for years. They still work fine. I love them, right? But don't go like Amazon or eBay and buy the $12, $13 LEDs. They're junk. They could wipe out your electrical system. But if you buy quality ones, there's nothing wrong with the halogens. But then again, nothing wrong with switching to LEDs. But then again, the halogens work fine. And they're dirt cheap. Get them online for $8, $10, and they work perfectly fine for years and years and years. Access says, Scotty, my radiator overflow nipple that connects to the hose melted. I tried to use epoxy, but it disconnected and broke off. Believe it or not, there are repair kits for those. Years ago when I was in Houston, the company sent me them, and they work perfectly fine. They're a kit where you get the whole thing, you over-drill the hole out to make it even, the piece fits inside, right? And some of them have bolts that hold them with washers, and some of them, once you put them through the hole, you can put like JB Weld epoxy, and that will be a new nipple that's in there. Now, of course, the nipple's part of the radiator neck. If it broke, the radiator neck might be shot too, and if it's all cracked and you start drilling it and it cracks, you're going to have to buy another radiator. There's no way out of that. But they do make repair kits for those nipples. Look it up. You'll see, and they work quite well, as long as the neck isn't totally shot and brittle. Robert Woodgard says, sorry, Scotty, LED lights are bad. Halogen are better. Okay, LEDs come in a gigantic array of brightness, of color. You can pick the one you want. You can get ones that aren't as bright as halogens if you don't like blinding people. You can get ones that are much brighter than halogens. There's an entire array of them out there. Do a little research, you'll find out. Like I say, the ones I have are phenomenal. I'm getting old, they're kind of bright. I've had them in for years, no problems, but it's like $85, $90 for a pair of them. They're not cheap, but I like them because they're brighter. I'm getting older. I like being able to see at night. Understand, there's an entire array of LED lights. GE or something makes one that's a little bit brighter that you can put in if you wanted to. I mean, there's a whole array, but the LEDs is a gigantic array of them out there that you can choose from. New Edge Mustang said, Scotty, how do you feel about the new Civics and CR-Vs? I build them in Greensburg, Indiana. Going to start the Civic hybrid production soon. I like Toyotas and Honda. Unfortunately, Honda's had some quality control the last decade. Lately, they've been getting lower ratings in a lot of these Consumer Report stuff because some of their quality is down. Now, I haven't seen any particular problems with the ones built in Indiana. And understand, Honda has been making cars in Ohio since the 80s, and they've had no problems. They're just having more quality control problems than they used to, but so is Toyota. They're still the best cars out there, but they have more problems than they used to have. Everybody's kind of going for planned obsolescence crap. Look at Toyota and Honda. They both took the dipsticks out of the automatic transmissions, so you can't check the fluid. You get a leak, How do you know how much to add? You got to pay a guy like me with a machine to do all these stupid tests and measuring and then adding some fluid, driving it, doing some more tests. It's ridiculous. They should have left the dipsticks in them all. Mina says, Scotty, my 2010 Ford Escape with 90,000 miles gives me an issue on and off. The car can come to a stop without me hitting the brake, making a grinding noise, and drive off. I have to push it to 2,500 RPM to go. Your brakes are locking on. The common things are either the brake calipers are starting to rust on or the brake master cylinder isn't releasing pressure. It's pretty easy to diagnose when it's doing that and it starts dragging, stopping by itself. Jack the car up. Try to spin all 4 wheels. You'll probably find only one of the wheel is stuck. And in that case, I'd say change that disc assembly. Change probably the hose too and the brake caliper. And if the rotor's all worn out from getting too hot and warped, you'd have to replace that. But let's say you jack it up and all 4 wheels are stuck. Then odds are your brake master cylinder's bad because it's not releasing the pressure. And when it doesn't release the pressure, it does it to the whole system. So all 4 wheels would be locked up. That's a real easy way to test it to see what's going on. Next question says, Scotty, screw Audi Q5. I'm getting a Toyota. What do you think of a 2012 Highlander, 2009 Tundra, or the 2016 Toyota Corolla? They're all the same price where I live. What do you want? Those are all great cars. The new ones aren't as well made as the old ones, that's for sure. So for all the same price, okay, what do you want? You want gas mileage and long life? Get the Corolla. Realize if you get a Tundra, they're excellent trucks, but they're tremendous gas hogs. You are going to get at least 3 times the gas mileage in the Corolla that you're going to get in that Tundra. You want to spend a lot of money on gas? Now, the Highlander, they're excellent too. Of course, it's going to get worse gas mileage than the Corolla, but better than the Tundra. What do you want? You want an SUV, you want a truck, or you want a really good sedan that's going to get great gas mileage and last a long time? Jesse Stroud says, 2006 Tundra. Fix it before it rusts. It's got 154,000 miles. I had it for 15 years. You've had that thing for 15 years. If it hasn't rusted, now it's not going to. The ones that rusted had a problem. They didn't coat them right, and they rusted and broke, right? If it hasn't rusted now, it's not going to start rusting. I wouldn't worry about it. Go under there and look at it, and if it's getting pitted and stuff, you could have it resprayed with sealer, or you do it yourself, or pay pros that do that like they do around here in Rhode Island. Some professional guys, $400 or $500, they seal them, and they don't rust anymore, right? You've had it for 15 years. It's not rusted now. It is not going to rust. Because it would have rusted by now. The ones that I've seen, they rusted within 7 or 8 years of original ownership. So, but do crawl under there, and if it's starting to pit, get it cleaned off and get it sealed. Ulysses Serrano says, I'm from L.A. Scotty, I'm looking to buy a Tahoe, 2011 or 14. What's the best Tahoe model? Is Chevy Tahoe better than a Toyota 4Runner? No, it's not. I would never buy a Chevy Tahoe. All of my customers who have bought Chevy Tahoes never bought another one. They didn't like it. They had transmission problems as they aged. Some of them had engine problems. Chevy does not make quality stuff anymore. Now, if you have to get one, you're better off with a 2011 because it's older. The older they are, the better they are. But as far as I'm concerned, the last decent one they built was maybe 2001, 2002. 2011 to me is too new. They have too many problems. I would never buy one. Hey, Rich says, Scotty, why are gas stations charging more again when the majority of Americans are driving? Because flying by air is tough to book. Well, because they got you by the short and curlies. They always raise the price of gas in the summer. It's a captive audience. You know, I don't know why the government lets these things happen. They say, it's against the law to have a monopoly. Well, the gas companies are monopolies. They all get together and decide the price of gas. You notice the price from one company to another isn't that much different. And then they say, there's a higher demand, so we will raise the price, right? Now, they got to lower the price when there's a lower demand. When coronavirus first came and went rampant, people weren't driving. They had to lower the price of gas because they weren't selling any. And people eventually bought a little more when the price went lower. That's just market force that they have to do. The converse, now they're raising it because, oh, people are traveling all over the place. They can because they're able to do it, and they do. And the government isn't going to stop them. Who do you think gets these people elected? Corporations give them money in their back pockets, and they pretend they care about us regular Joes, but they really don't. They're in behoove to all the corporations that help get them elected. JT Fishing, technical things. Now we're going here. I got a 2017 Honda Ridgeline. I run it 10, 20 minutes, park in the garage. I smell gas vapors and come for the fuel pump. I don't know what to check. Okay, well, of course, the first thing is check your gas cap. If your gas cap is loose, that's exactly what will happen. It'll smell. Now, the other thing is cars have what's called an evap canister. And the evap canister What it does is it takes the vapor from your gas tank and it's supposed to filter it so you don't smell it. If your evap canister vent valve is stuck open, you'll smell fuel. So check that too. Those are the most common. If you don't see it dripping anywhere, those are the two most common things you're going to see. Tom Baldwin says Scotty's face is priceless. Like he's surprised at how stupid everything is. Yes, every day I get more and more surprised too. Stories, the sleaziness that people are trying to pull to rip off people to get their money. I really can't believe half of it. That's why I make these videos. There's so many crooks out there that'll just rip you off, lie to your face. If it's a mechanic, they'll try to charge you more money to fix something they should have fixed right in the first place. I'm literally amazed by the crap that people do these days, truthfully. Totally amazed. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.